We are really excited to be here tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit about arts and entertainment, but certainly about tourism. And I guess I want to have some audience participation here, and let's make this a little fun. So I want you to just say to me, when you think about tourism and the word tourism, what comes to mind? Visitors, concerts,
Money.
money, honey.
Vacation.
Vacation. That's right. There are sort of some thoughts about tourism, and we want to talk about those and sort of lay the groundwork for what we're going to speak to tonight. It's many times that we sort of think about tourism, and let me get this thing up. We think about maybe a lot of folks think about tourism as they're going somewhere internationally. They're going to jet set. We picture the gentleman walking on the foreign sidewalk with the camera around his neck, and that's the classic tourist. And we think we maybe are going to go to a big city so that we can do something fun. Or maybe we're thinking about, gee, what are we going to do for spring break or for fall break? And you know, it really is not that. In fact, that's a myth. And we're going to talk about the fact that tourism is really more about the purpose of visits, to Gary's point. There are many reasons that a person would visit a community, and that would then qualify them as a tourist. For example, some people travel on business. They come to conferences or conventions. Many times we see wedding destinations. We see that people are traveling for educational purposes. Maybe they're traveling for sports. Many times we even have teams that are called, what kind of teams? Travel teams, that's right. So certainly that we have niche interest, and the niche interest are things like people who are in what I call the 3 A's, arts, architecture, and antiques. People who go around just because they have an interest in those niche kind of things. Certainly people want experiences, and they want entertainment, and so it's really more reunions. It's more than spring break and fall break. And we're here to talk to you today about the fact that Muhlenberg County is absolutely qualified to be a fantastic destination location. And yet, sometimes folks even say, Central City tourism, Greenville tourism, we really need tourism. This is Greenville, Central City, Muhlenberg County. Absolutely. And not only is it about tourism, the fact that we're qualified, but it's an industry, folks. It brings money into this county. For every dollar that's spent in tourism, that dollar turns over 7 times. So that's pretty significant. So really what our group is here to talk to you about is the fact that tourism is alive and growing as an industry in Muhlenberg County. And we're each going to speak to the things that we're passionate about and involved in.
This is the first event in Central City each year. It's held the first weekend in June, and next year we hope to actually expand that to a 2-day event. Our idea is that 2-day events means that people stay in our hotels overnight, they're in our restaurants the next day, in our shops, in our stores, that sort of things. We hope to grow it to 2 days. Interesting thing here is it's kind of centers around the cooking, and we have a barbecue competition. And people from around our area actually are the participants. So these are people coming from out of our community, and they come in to participate in this barbecue competition for us. In addition to that, there are vendors that come in. They're a part of that as well, not to mention the people that attend. Each year that this has been in existence, the numbers have grown. More vendors every year, more contestants in the competition every year, and more people attending every year. So this is our kickoff event.
Saturdays on the Square. Hopefully all of you have heard of Saturdays on the Square. 2016 marks the 8th year for the series. I can't believe it's been going that long. It's been very successful over those 8 years. 3 times it's been named a top 10 summer event by the Kentucky Travel Industry Association. And that is, of course, a statewide honor. And then if you think about it from a tourism perspective, something that we do every year at the concert is we do what are called license plate surveys. We send somebody out to the parking lots to actually write down where the cars are coming from. And if you look at our numbers, we're through 7 concerts. We have 1 more to go this weekend. 43% of the folks that come to our concerts are from outside Muhlenberg County. And about 17% are from Davis County, 19% are from Hopkins County, and 11.5% are from Warren County. And those are kind of our three big markets that we focus on our marketing campaign. So it is getting people in from out of town, and we're very pleased with that.
This is our big event in Central City each year. It actually dates back to 1988 when we had our first Everly Brothers Homecoming Festival. And there's been something continuous that takes place during Labor Day weekend over that entire 25-year period there. The kickoff is on Wednesday. First Southern National Bank has sponsored Gospel Fest for a number of years. And during the course of the weekend, between Wednesday through Saturday activities, with Gospel Fest featuring Jason Crabb and his family, for the last several years, they bring in lots of folks. Like 5,000 attendees for that event on Wednesday night. Then we go through the car shows on Friday and Saturday. Over the course of the weekend, some 400 cars are in our community. These are coming from counties all around us, states all around us. During the course of that week, Wednesday through Sunday of that week, we probably have more than 10,000 people that are guests in our community. And they're here having a good time, but they're also here spending their dollars. And as Jamie has already said, those dollars get spent 7 times during the course of the year. So a big event for us, one we'll continue to do this year and try to grow it actually each and every year to come.
I'm here to talk to you about how the library focuses on tourism. We got Thistle Cottage a couple of years ago, and we use it to help us draw people into the community. We do Chautauqua programs each year. Last year, our Chautauqua programs were sponsored by the Felix Martin Foundation. Our numbers were good. They grew every program that we had. For those of you that aren't familiar with Chautauqua programs, what Chautauqua programs are, they're sponsored by the Kentucky Arts Council. Those performers come in, they're dressed as historical figures, political figures, and they bring those characters to life. We have people from surrounding counties that come to see those performers, and if you haven't been to one, please come to our events next year because they're going to be great. We're working on the new program for next year. We also, Thistle is a destination wedding site. We have lots of people that come and do weddings. If you haven't been to visit us for a while, the building's really pretty. We enjoy it when it's fixed for weddings. Takes minimal decorating for a perfect wedding. And we've enjoyed having those throughout the years, and we want to continue to do that. We have monthly showcase for artists. We have those for performers from time to time. Our art exhibit this month is Jeannie Kittinger. If you don't know Jeannie, please come see her artwork. She's fabulous. She's a local artist. She's worked here at the hospital for years, and she's wonderful. So please come check her out. We also have some upcoming events, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Felix Martin Hall, and I'm going to take my tourism director hat off for a moment, and I'm going to put on my Felix Martin hat. I'm honored to serve as the chair for the Felix Martin Hall Advisory Committee, and that advisory committee, along with Director David Provis, are responsible for raising the funds and bringing you what we call the public side of Felix Martin Hall. And we do anywhere between 4 and 5 shows a year. Some of you guys might have gone to some in the spring. We had In the Mood and the U.S. Army Field Band, just to name a couple. And this fall we have a great season lined up. This fall we have 2 shows coming. On September 9th, we have the Willis Clan, and then on September 6th, we're bringing to Muhlenberg County the Miracle on 34th Street, the musical. And to just give you a little bit of how that fits into tourism, the Willis Clan show has already sold approximately 200 tickets. And what I did right before I got here is I took a look at the demographics report that we got from the ticketing company, and at this point, 74% of those tickets sold are from outside of Muhlenberg County. And we're talking way outside Muhlenberg County, Tennessee, Georgia, Indiana, Illinois. So it's just another part of Muhlenberg County that is bringing people to our community to make an impact.
Oh, that's me. The Ray Jones Family Athletic Complex was built about 3 years ago, and it had 2 missions. Obviously, the first mission was to have a beautiful park with lots of amenities for our county, for everyone to enjoy, from 5 years old to 50 to 60. is also to house the baseball, softball, and football programs for the county, and we've done that. But the other mission of that was to harness the huge travel team baseball, softball market. And so in 2016, we were successful in about 14 tournaments. We have about 3 left. These tournaments bring anywhere from 20 to 40 teams, 2,000 people that basically live here for the weekend. They're eating, they're sleeping, they're shopping in our county. In 2017, we've already got 14 more booked and more to come. Just to talk about one, we had one tournament that they all have a tournament shirt for every tournament they have. They had a shirt on the back of it. It had 9 states, so it was 9 states. Teams from 9 states coming here for the weekend. And we also, we do more than baseball. We do a lot of special events out there that also help the community in raising funds for community organizations. We had the Lifestyle Expo, which was a benefit for the Chamber of Commerce. We've had several sport camps, 5Ks, glow runs that have supported the high school athletic teams, Relay for Life. So it's it's serving the community in many ways. And most of the coaches, the travel coaches that come and see us, they rank us the number 2 facility in the state. And the other one is the $31 million Elizabethtown complex. And we pride ourselves on putting on a good show, and we pride on keeping the place looking nice. And I don't do that by myself. I was hired in 2013, but since then we now employ 20 kids, mainly all high school kids, that are paid from the proceeds of these tournaments. It's not tax dollars. So we've employed about 20 to 25 kids now. So it's a growing industry.
Before I talk about the museum, I want to mention something. If you look in your packets, and this was overwhelming to me, we deal with these activities from time to time, but look in your packets and look at the list of activities that take place in our county in the course of a year. And it's amazing the things that there are to do. So when you hear people in our community say there is nothing to do, show them that list. There are lots of things in our community to keep you here, to keep you entertained, to keep you with lots of recreation, not to mention what we can do to reach out to people that are in the communities around us. The counties, the states, it is incredible what's there. The corroboration that we have done, one thing that I want to point out is Tommy called this week and said, look, we have a softball tournament next year in May looking to come to our area. They need 300 hotel rooms for the weekend. Right? We don't have 300 hotel rooms. So this means in order to make this event occur, we not only corroborate with one another to make these things happen, now we're talking to Madisonville, trying to get rooms that are closest to us to accommodate that tournament. So the potential for this is incredibly big for our community. So be sure and spread that word and share the excitement. Look at those activities, and certainly not everything in there is going to be appealing to you. You can't do them all. You wouldn't want to do them all. But there's a lot of things to do. There's no reason to leave our community to go other places to do things. We have those things right here. The museum, that's where my basic passion is at this point. I've been in this position now since October. It is incredible to me the interest there is in our music heritage in our community. During the time that I've been there, we've had visitors from 5 countries and 26 states to come to Muhlenberg County and stop at the museum because they have a love for our music heritage. The Everly Brothers, internationally known. Merle Travis, internationally known. John Prine, internationally known. Jim Walker, internationally known. The gamut of music that is there, we go from country to rock and roll, to rockabilly, to thumb pickers. Bluegrass is right next door to us. We have jazz, we have Americana, we have classical music. It is incredible. And that came out of Muhlenberg County, and people know about that outside of our community, and they come in to visit us. So come by the museum. I invite you to visit, and then share that news with people around about you and people outside our community that they might come to be a part of that as well. It is 2 things that have happened, again, that point to our potential to be able to reach out. There is an article that appeared in the Delta Sky magazine in June of this year, so that everybody flying Delta, when they look in the back of the seats in front of them, pick up the magazine and look, there's an article that talks about the music of Muhlenberg County and the Muhlenberg County Museum. There's already an interesting story that I won't tell tonight, but it's related to that particular article. Back about 4 months ago, we had the BBC get in touch with us because they wanted to come and do a feature article about the Everly Brothers, something going on in England. So they came to our museum and interviewed Bill Harlan because he grew up with the brothers. So we have something very special in our musical heritage, not to mention people like Bill Harlan, who is in the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, and Royce Morgan in the Thumbpickers Hall of Fame, and Joe Hudson in the Thumbpickers Hall of Fame, and these other people that are Dave Rich, Spider Rich, and then go beyond that to James Best, Roscoe P. Coltrane, and then Warren Oates from DePoy from a number of years ago. We have a lot of things to brag about, a lot of things that people come to our community to be able to see. So come see the museum, share that with other people, get them to come as well. Spend time in our community, enjoy those things we sometimes take for granted.
Squash and Gobble, that's me again. Hopefully everybody here has attended Greenville's signature fall event. And that's just basically a day to celebrate the arts, both performing and craft-wise. And if you look at where we started, the first year we did it in 2009 was also my first year with the commission. We had about 30 vendors. Last year we had 112, filled up almost 150 booth spaces. So it has really grown. And this year we're hoping to have 120 vendors, and we are well on our way to that with over 80 already signed up, and we're still over a month away from the show. So it really makes a big impact, and we're excited to see the growth there.
The Merle Travis Music Center, and this will tie very closely with a lot of the things that Freddie was talking about. We have a very unique venue here, one of the most unique that you will find, in the sense that this is a venue built to honor a man who helped to pioneer a guitar style which was developed right here in Muhlenberg County, known as thumb picking. That style is recognized still heavily today with names such as Keith Urban, Brad Paisley, many others. People can come here from all over. They can see the Merle Travis Center, learn about our thumb picking and our musical heritage. They can go right next door to Paradise Park, see the home of Merle Travis where he was born that's been relocated. You have the Belton Mercantile over there, a shotgun house, Spring Ridge Schoolhouse, a lot of history right here in one area. We have an event that brings in more people from further away than any other event in the county, and we have a lot of great events. The International Home of the Legends Thumb Picking, and I'll say that again, International Home of the Legends Thumb Picking Weekend. We bring in patrons from California, New Jersey, Florida, Texas, Canada, Australia, Japan. It literally is an international festival. We've had a champion from a few years ago from Japan. We've had competitors from Australia in the only international guitar championship in the country as well. That event has become very special to a lot of players. Elvis Presley's original guitar player was here in 2010, and he spoke very little at that time. But one of the things he said, he was like, "I'm in Muhlenberg County." I mean, that's saying something. When you take Elvis Presley's original guitar player who was in the movies with him and says, "I'm in Muhlenberg County." A lot of the other people who have been here have said the same thing. They come to this place where this style of music was started that has influenced them, you know, of course, through Mose Rager, Merle Travis, Kennedy Jones, on to Chet Atkins and so on. So, you know, we have really tied hand in hand with what this whole tourism section is about very, very heavily. We were talking about the license plates and what you were talking about with Saturdays on the Square, and it's really great to see people coming in from out of town for what we do, and what that in turn is, it's dollars spent in our hotels, gas stations, restaurants, and it's not only tourism dollars, but it is a huge piece of the puzzle that it takes to get industry into Muhlenberg County. All of these things you've heard tonight mesh together to make this whole vision come into play. We're working more to bring in more events, though the Thumb Picking Weekend, which is the 4th weekend of September coming up, we're going to have internationally known guitarist Tommy Emmanuel here. He does about 300 dates a year. Tommy is proud to come to Muhlenberg County and play. He talks about Merle Travis everywhere he goes. We're working on other events to go along with that one as well. We've become a destination for country music artists. A lot of your older legendary artists, such as John Conley, people of that status. We've had Bill Anderson and so on. They like this venue. They like the size of it. And when they come, they say, I feel like I've been home in Muhlenberg County. And those are the things that I want to hear your ideas as well. I'll be in the lobby also. If there's a show you would like to see, ideas you have, stop by and see us. Let us know, because, all of these events we're talking about, we're here to serve not only the people of Muhlenberg County, which is our home and our passion, but out of town, out of state, and so on, and keep this great thing we have going. Thank you.
Muhlenberg Community Theater has been drawing audiences from around the region since 1980, and we're getting ready to kick off our upcoming new season with what I believe is our 157th production, Fairy Tale Courtroom, which is a children's production. Do 5 shows a year currently. Over the years, we've had people from as far away as Evansville and Murfreesboro and Louisville appear on our stage, which is a long way to travel to do a community show, but we're grateful to that because they bring their friends with them from those areas as well. Some of the things we've had going on lately is a partnership with Felix E. Martin Jr. Hall, where we've been able to use their facilities for some of our bigger productions, our youth productions. Next summer's musical will be there as well. And also with the Muhlenberg Arts Council, and Melanie's back there, and she'll be in the lobby as well. We've done open mic night events there. And this summer we started Classic Movie Day, the first Saturday of every month. So if you've noticed, we have classic movies back on the big screen at the Palace Theater for the first time in a long time. So thank you for the past 37 years, and we look forward to 37 more and beyond.
I want to speak to Lake Malone State Park. You saw one of the bullet points talked about the improvements and the expansion of a beach and putting more facilities at Lake Malone State Park. And I have to be clear to say that none of the organizations that are represented on the stage tonight have jurisdiction over Lake Malone. That's a state park, and so while we can't physically go and do things there, we certainly can lobby for that. And we can also promote Lake Malone. We clearly see the tourism value in having a place like Lake Malone State Park. And even recently, we're going to talk a little bit later at the end of the presentation about a promotional video that we just wrapped up. And in fact, while we can't necessarily impart things there, we certainly are promoting the lake and its use, and we did so recently in that promotional video. So be looking forward to that.
In addition to providing recreational fitness, swimming pool activities for about 4,000 local members, this facility also provides those same recreational activities for people that want to come into our community and spend some time either getting fit or swimming or walking the trail or whatever. And that was one of the big things that came out of our communication with Parks and Rec for these teams that are coming in on weekends. They love our facility, but they want things to do when they're not at the ballpark. So for them to have an opportunity to use this facility is really a big thing. Now, on top of that, there are a number of activities that take place at the convention center that you may not know. We host a karate tournament, and that's coming back again next year. There have been chess tournaments there. There are cheerleader competitions that are held there. Wrestling matches have been held there. A lot of different venues, a lot of different activities for that venue, and they're very appropriate for that. We look to expand that, in the days to come. We hope next year that maybe we have a bridge tournament, maybe we have a Dulcimer festival, maybe we have swimming meets, that sort of thing. So it's a multi-purpose facility that allows us again to appeal to certain groups in and outside our community that might not have an opportunity to be able to put on those activities otherwise. Even an antique show, I think, is something that we might very well want to do something with it as well. So very nice addition to our community, kind of completes those things we have to offer, and we are certainly thrilled that we have it in our community.
Some of the other things that are very key to tourism are having great shopping, and certainly we have great retail places here across the county for those who like to shop like me. We have some really great restaurants, from fast food all the way to nice sit-down places to have a nice dinner. And then, the thing you've heard, I think, from 2 or 3 folks here tonight is that we have to have a place to put heads in the beds, and that's the hotels. And so if you're interested in building a hotel, you can come. There are many bankers in the room tonight, and you can come right over and we'll see what we can do. But we do have some really great facilities for overnight accommodation. Central City has several. The Convention Center Inn recently changed hands. I think it's the Express Inn now. And there's a new bed and breakfast that has opened in Greenville on Cherry Street. It's in the, it's called the Wycliffe House. It's at the corner of Cherry and Hopkinsville Street. Beautiful renovation. Sandy Davis completed that. She's the owner or the operator of the Country Plantation, which also is a place where you can have overnight accommodations as well. So we have all the elements. We have all the elements needed to define ourselves and feel good about the fact that arts, entertainment, and tourism is alive and growing in Muhlenberg County. So what's next?
Two things to look for in the north end of the county are this. First of all, Luray Park. I am pleased to be able to report to you tonight that discussions are underway to hire a director for Luray Park. It is nice that we have these different events there, but having facilities to hold them is critical. So having that downtown park, that amphitheater with a nice set stage, with a nice sound system, with walking trails that tell the history of our coal history, that tell about our railroad history, that talk about our music heritage, all of those things are going to be very important. So look for Luray Park to open sometime next year. We hope to have a number of different types of activities there. In addition to concerts, perhaps outdoor plays, there are going to be movies to be shown, a number of things in Luray Park. We are certainly expecting that to be open next year, a nice addition to things that take place in our community. The second thing is this. Visitors coming to our community, we are hard to find. At the museum, the tourism office, difficult to be there. We're also in discussion about creating a welcome center just off the Parkway, which will house the tourism office, the museum. I'm leaving something out.
The Luray office?
The Luray office, yes, there as well. So we think that will make us more visible from the Parkway, more accessible, easy for people to get here. We've been contacted already by a group out of Ireland that does music tours each year. They wanted to bring bus tours and make this a stop-off for our community as well. So those two things create a lot of excitement in our community. We think it'll be something that the county will benefit from in a big way. So those two events next year, look for them.
Oh, that's me. I turned it around. Mark your calendars. Take a pencil out and write this down. It's an important date. September 11th. September 11th, 2016 will mark the 15th anniversary of the 911 disaster. And right in front of our Judicial Center on Main Street in Greenville, we will be erecting a new 911 memorial that is going to blow your mind. It's going to be a fantastic tribute to the disaster, and it's also going to be a tribute to those local folks in our county who provide us the security and the safety that we need, and to those who have lost their lives in the line of duty here in Muhlenberg County. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, September the 11th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's on a Sunday. Go to church, go to lunch, and then come over for the unveiling. And get ready for something that we can all feel very proud of and that we feel confident will be a point of interest and destination for visitors.
The library's been fortunate enough over the last year. We've worked really hard to try and obtain some grants to do some things that we really wanted to do. One of those grants that we just recently found out that we would be getting is called the Science and Play to Go exhibit. That is an active play exhibit. It's sponsored by the Kentucky Science Center and PNC Financial. This exhibit will come to us. We'll have it for 2 months. It'll be an active play exhibit where you go in, your kids can play, you can interact with them and do different things as far as it provides activities as far as STEM science learning and just overall high functioning skills that your kids need to learn before they're ready for kindergarten, as Vicki can well tell you. Another exhibit that we have gotten through a grant we're really excited about. It's called the StarNet exhibit. It's called Explore Space, Our Solar System and Beyond. We'll be receiving that May the 30th through July the 28th of 2018. We're really excited to get this. It's sponsored by the American Libraries Association. We hope while we have this exhibit, you'll come out, check it out. There'll be lots of programs going on around that. It'll be interactive, it should be fun, and we hope to see you all there. The biggest exhibit that we have coming, and we're very fortunate to get this, we were in the running with 7 other libraries within the state. There'll only be this exhibit placed in 2 areas within the state of Kentucky, and we were one that was chosen, and we were very happy to be able to provide this to you all. This is a Smithsonian traveling exhibit. It's called Hometown Teams, and it's sponsored by the Kentucky Humanities Council. We'll be working with both tourism councils to work on this, to provide things. So you can come in and see some of the things that we'll be sharing with you as far as hometown teams, from things that have went on throughout the sports teams within the counties, teams that we had from the other high schools and then merging into the county high school now. We're going to work really hard with everybody that we can to try and provide this as a wonderful exhibit. There'll be programs around that. If you have any ideas, we're still working on that, and we'd love to share whatever that we have as far as what we've got right now. And if you've got a good idea, we'll take it. We want to do things because it's your library. We want you to be able to use our facilities as we grow and change. Something else, as you all know, right now our library downtown in Greenville has been closed. We're preparing for renovations. Our library it's growing. Our needs inside the county are growing, and libraries grow and change with your community. And as things change within our community, our library has to change as well. We have to meet the needs. As far as internet access, we have to be able to provide more computer space for the people within the county, and that's our goal right now. Once we complete our renovations, we'll have 20 public computers for people to be able to use within our county. And that's something we're very passionate about, being able to do that for our county. This cottage will gain a little over 2,000 square feet to be able to house our history annex, so we can put all of the historic memorabilia that we have, all of our genealogy, everything that we have as far as local history will be in one location. So when you want to come and find those things, they're right there at your fingertips with the staff to help you find those things and make sure that they're accessible to you. Our main library is going to expand into the annex space, and we'll just have a lot more room to be able to do the things that we want to do for you all. We'll gain an extra conference room for those of you that have small meetings and need to meet with some of your employees, or just out of town people that are coming in for meetings. We'll be able to meet your needs. So that's upcoming in the year. We should be starting fairly soon. So keep watching.
In fact, today I talked with Vicki and Gail about this because coming up next year is going to be the unique opportunity for us to experience a full eclipse. And I think this is the first time that's happened in like 150 years, or 350 years. 350 years. Freddie and Beth and I know that Ben and Jan and maybe others recently attended a large gathering, a meeting in Hopkinsville to talk about the eclipse and to prepare for the eclipse. And what we would like to do is to propose that we put together an eclipse committee. Because our tourism commissions are talking about, where's a good place, where the best place is going to be to view the eclipse. Where can people stay when they're here? Where we're going to get the glasses? What can we do to leverage this event, this, really once in our lifetime event? And so if you are interested in getting involved in the eclipse party and being engaged in the committee, we will be outside in the lobby, and we'll be happy to talk with you about that.
We have also been talking to a couple different offices in Louisiana, Georgia, that type of thing, travel agents and such, about a Roots music tour. And what one out of Louisiana is looking at doing is putting together a tour that will start, of course, in Louisiana, come up through Memphis, Tennessee, come up through Nashville, of course, and then come to Muhlenberg County. After Muhlenberg County, we'll be going on over to Owensboro and then loop back down. Again, that is not a 100% definite, but we're working towards that. They're excited about it, and of course, we'll be keeping everyone posted on that. And if that comes into play, once again, we're going to have several different bus loads of people coming through our area, doing all of the great things that we've talked about before.
On package tourism experiences, this group is working collaboratively together to say, hey, you know, what if we put some packages together that said, you know, you can come and spend a couple of nights in Muhlenberg County, maybe catch a show, here's a couple of vouchers to have a meal, and just have an experience in Muhlenberg County. So again, this isn't something that we're doing right now. We are starting discussions about that kind of collaboration and putting some package experiences together to promote and get people to come to Muhlenberg County. And more Muhlenberg, and so I'm going to pause here again for some audience participation. If you have heard the term more Muhlenberg, please raise your hand. Very good. More Muhlenberg, let's talk about that for a minute. This is actually the logo that has been created, and in the O of the more is a plus sign, and that's really what it's all about. It's about adding more, it's about being more, it's about doing more. So let me tell you a brief overview about it, and we're going to wrap up. There are 6 county entities that have come together both with our human capital and with our financial resources. And they are the Greenville and Central City Tourism Commissions, the Muhlenberg County Chamber of Commerce, the Muhlenberg Alliance for Progress, the Muhlenberg County Fiscal Court, and the Greater Muhlenberg Parks and Recreation System. And together we have pulled, in fact, $10,000. And with that money, we have been able to do 2 promotional videos. And one of our own, Ryland Toohey, came back to town on July 19th through the 23rd and shot some incredible footage for these promotional videos. Some of the folks in the room were involved in that. There was staging that took place. You know, we set up some campsites at the lake. We had some drone shots taken. There's too much to talk about here, but get excited about this promotional video, because in this video, it's going to be housed on YouTube. And from YouTube, it's going to be embedded into all 6 of those organizations' websites and pushed out. And we want this thing to go viral. And we want people all over the nation to be looking at the video and seeing what there is to do and experience in Muhlenberg County. So there is a new website that's coming out. It's www.moremuhlenberg.com. Very close to having that ready to roll out. We do have a Facebook page already. That's More Muhlenberg. We do have an Instagram account, and we're hashtagging More Muhlenberg. In fact, I said if I hadn't been too tired last night, I would have made us all t-shirts with the iron-on things that said hashtag More Muhlenberg to get you all understanding that this is a huge collaborative event that will be so beneficial to our county, and to get excited about that. So if you're not a fan on our Facebook page, please go and like the page. Invite your friends to like the page. We already have about 650 friends, but we would like to have 6,500 friends. And that can happen very quickly if you all will help us by inviting your friends and sharing. When you see posts, like the post, share the post, and let's just use the social media opportunity to really get the word out about More Muhlenberg, and get excited about that, because More Muhlenberg is more than just a Facebook page or a website or a video. It's a mindset. And it's this mindset of coming together. It's more collaboration, more involvement, more confidence, more faith, more joy, more friends, more community. And if you look at the word unity in community, the word community doesn't exist without unity. And the first letter in the word unity is you. You, and you, and me. So think more, do more, be more, more Muhlenberg. Here are some of the drone shots, and we'll wrap up with this. We will all be in the lobby. We so appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this awesome event tonight. Who can tell me where that is? Lake Malone, that's right. Drone footage of a boater on Lake Malone. How about this one? Some of the folks left a little bit earlier who would have known this right off the bat.
Ray Jones.
Ray Jones. Beautiful rolling hills and white fences, and that's actually a 1930 what, Stephen? 34 pickup truck that we utilized in the video, and we had some local folks in the back end of that. A drone shot of the tower, the dome, largest open air belfry in the nation. Largest open air belfry in the nation. That's hard to say. What time is it?
Just in time.
That's good. Who can say? So what time is it?
10 minutes to late.
What is it? 10 to 8. Is it AM or PM? PM. PM from the sun. The first night that Rylan shot footage, he went out to the park and actually videoed a baseball game, and he took some nighttime shots, still shots as well. Beautiful scene there. And then we had Cameron Laycock, Marla, and Marley come out and be our family. That was having an outing at Luzerne Lake, and man, God showed off that night. We painted a beautiful sunset for us. We couldn't have asked for anything better. This is Isom Sapp and his family, 3 generations represented there walking through the bean field. They're holding bows and arrows and their camo, and they're going hunting, because we're certainly going to promote hunting, which is clearly another reason that people travel, and the fact that we have a wealth of opportunity to do that here in our county. Here's a drone shot of the very onset of one of the concerts this year at Saturdays on the Square. Who can name that band? Everly Brothers, that's right. Now and Foreverly. This was a really special night for us as well, because obviously these were the sons of Muhlenberg County, and so we partnered with the Central City Tourism Commission. We put on the concert, but we wanted them to be involved in it. So the night prior to that, there was a street dance and open house at the Muhlenberg County Music Museum. That night, you'll see a tent set up over there on the right. They were there with some things from the museum for people to be able to learn more about the museum and take something home with them from there. So it was a great night honoring Muhlenberg County and working with our partners in Central City. And this is the Central City Convention Center. This is at the spray park there at the pool, and there's some shots that you'll see more about that in the video as well. But just some really fun times, kids having a great time. So that's our presentation. Took a team, but it takes a team, and there are several organizations represented on this stage. So, and I know that there are folks in this audience. This doesn't happen. These kinds of things don't happen without a lot of work from a lot of people. So if you are a Greenville or Central City Tourism Commissioner, if you are on the Martin Hall Board, if you are on the Parks and Recreation Board, if you're associated with this beautiful facility, if you're on the library board or the MCTI board, I'd like to take a moment to honor you, if you would mind to stand up so we can say thank you for what you do for our county. Thank you all very much.